Good morning. It's my very considerable pleasure to welcome all of you to the GeoWeb 2007 conference here in Vancouver. We have people here from many parts of the world. We have a very exciting lineup of speakers, and I believe you're going to have a really interesting and informative week. I'd like to welcome you here on behalf of our company, Galdos, and of our partner in this conference, GITA, and of course our sponsors. The platinum sponsors are ESRI, Google, and Autodesk. This conference, the GeoWeb, is about the convergence of web, internet technologies, and geographic information handling. And that's a simple phrase, but it has very deep implications. And I think one thing that I've come to realize when we started down this road of the GeoWeb 7 or 8 years ago, I looked at it as the impact that the internet would have on GIS and geoinformation. And now I'm increasingly seeing that it's also the impact that geographic information has on the web itself. And so this fusion is very much a bidirectional thing. I think we're also seeing that the GeoWeb is really going to be, in a way, kind of the next generation of the whole of the web. And I think we're very pleased this morning to have a spectrum of speakers that can really deal with those issues from all different directions. In particular, of course, we have Mr. Vinton Cerf, who is in some ways Mr. Internet himself, and the inventor or co-inventor of the IP protocol, which is the foundation of everything from email to web services today. On the other hand, on the geo side, we have this morning Mr. Jack Dangerman, whose name is essentially synonymous with GIS and geographic information. So I think it's uniquely interesting that we have the GeoWeb and we have these two gentlemen here as lead speakers this morning. In addition to the some 50 technical papers, 14 workshops, panel sessions that make up this week, we also encourage people to network, and that's always been a key aspect of this conference. So there are birds of a feather sessions, some which have already been arranged, but you're very much encouraged to go out, and there's a birds of a feather bulletin board out in the lobby, and just post up, a note that you'd like to meet with people that want to talk about anything related to GeoWeb, the impact of Neo Geo on open standards, or whatever it is that you think is interesting. Post something, get a few people together. There'll be a space in here where you can meet and talk and explore ideas, because this conference is about ideas, about networking, about sharing things with one another. My last remark, as I like to thank our sponsors, I also want to challenge them. I'll announce now that, of course, there will be a GeoWeb 2008. We'll be probably back in this building, but with even more people. You'll wonder where they're going to sit, but we'll deal with that issue. And associated with GeoWeb 2008, I'm going to put out a challenge. We're going to have a contest for software development related to anything that can promote the concept or the technology of the GeoWeb. This will be for students or maybe impoverished developers that work for companies, if there are any such things. And I'm going to put, Galdos is going to put $10,000 into the pot, and I challenge all of the other vendors, sponsors also to put money into this. We will define what the rules of this contest are jointly after this meeting, and it will be posted on the GeoWeb site. This will provide airfares for the contestants, or the winners, to come to this conference in 2008 and receive a prize as well. So I look forward to doing that jointly with other members of this group. So I'd like also now to introduce Bob Samborski of GITA, who would also like to make some remarks and welcome you to the conference. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron. On behalf of our board of directors at GITA, several of whom are from Canada and several of whom are here present at the conference, I'd like to thank you for attending and extend our appreciation for the opportunity that we've had to work with Galdos for our second year. This is our second year of partnership with Galdos, and I think everyone affiliated with this conference has seen the energy multiply over the years to basically bring us where we are today. And Ron's made some announcements about where we're going in the future, and we're actively looking forward to that. We are a nonprofit educational association. For those of you who are not familiar with GITA, we're headquartered in Colorado, but as I mentioned, we have we're well established in Canada with several chapters here, including in the BC area, Alberta, and Ontario as well. So we really are a North American organization. Our members primarily are those geospatial professionals who own, operate, maintain, and protect our respective nations' infrastructure. And I think it's important that it's becoming widely acknowledged that the internet, the web, and GeoWeb is now part of that infrastructure. And that's the connection between the geo and the web as far as GITA's perspective is concerned. So we think this is an important conference for our constituents. Our role really is to bring more of the utilities and local government geospatial professionals to the table to work with the leading edge companies that are represented here to further advance the web to everyone's benefit. Finally, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that our annual conference next year in March of 2008 is down the road in Seattle. And there'll be some of these sorts of presentations there, but mostly it's a Geospatial Infrastructure Solutions Conference that will incorporate things like the GeoWeb as well as other technologies that are helping geospatial professionals protect and improve our infrastructure, which, if you read the American Society of Civil Engineers report that just came out this past week, certainly could use the help. So I know you're all anxious to hear our speakers today. As am I, and with that, Ron, we'll get started. Thank you.